feeling a dip in your hip, a glide in your stride. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe, with shows throughout the week. Everything you want, everything you could need. From the paranormal to the supernatural, from the spiritual to the unknown, from emotions to comedy. You can find us at Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and so much more. This is R.I.F.T Nation Network, the RNN. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
Hello, and welcome to another wonderful edition of the Otter's Den, where we have tonight's guests are the Spirit Mechanix. We have Brian, we got Steve, Steve, and Brian.
Is
this a bit better? I'm just making sure my audio is good.
You bet.
Okay, cool. What
I
up?
hear you loud and clear. It's a dangerous question on this show. Just saying.
I'm just saying I'm loud enough, but my mic, I got to make sure that it's not like 6 miles away.
No problem, man. I am in the process of getting this baby shared out so we can get some people on here. In the meantime,
we're live. That's right. We're live. Live.
We are live.
Yeah.
This is not Memorex. We
not
are
Memorex.
live.
I haven't heard that statement in a minute.
Well, I'm old, so
same.
Dated myself.
Same.
Mr. Newsom, Patricia, how you doing? Linda Nelson, thank you. Please share out. Sharing is caring. And we can
give it the old Care Bear stare.
Absolutely. Thank you, Renee. I appreciate that as always. As always. I have one more.
Sharing on my personal.
Cool. I'm sharing out all of the damn place.
There we go. Now Spirit Mechanix has shared it. Cool.
Cool. All righty. Gentlemen, it has been a bit since I have had you on the show. I know how you've been, but how have you been?
Existence. It is a thing.
It's going, man. We're going.
It's happening.
Doing the work, live thing, huh?
That's it.
Here. Hey, Jim, how you doing?
I gotta.
Oh,
you got itch. You got itch.
I had a big piece of hair that was like sticking straight up. I just needed to fix it.
You want me to see if I can put it where you need it?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay.
That's a little far away.
Hey, there is no such thing as distance.
I understand that, but however, there is physically, and I don't have the means to get us between here and there.
I hear you. So, Steve or Brian, whichever. I'm sure there's going to be some new viewers on. Why don't you introduce yourselves a little bit and tell us a little bit about what you do. Well, actually, what we do.
Right, I was about to say, what do you mean you?
Yes, I am a member of the Spirit Mechanix, humbly.
Humbly.
All right, go for it, Steve. F it, we ball.
All right. And so
Hey, you.
as far as Spirit Mechanix themselves, we were actually founded on the principle of making sure that people were happy and healthy in their own home and in their own skin. In order to do this, we pretty much gathered together, collected strays, essentially. But everybody who is part of the team has their own understanding, their own faith base, their own philosophy, and because of that, we're able to approach both education and uh, energy work, and communication with clients from multiple avenues. We have done everything from house cleansings. We've actually helped with multiple cases uh, through Miss Amy Allen. Keith's case was one of them. Um, we've also spoken at many places, New Jersey Para Unity, multiple times at Scarefest, Inner Light Festival. We've spoken at Waverly Hills. Shout out to Waverly Hills. That is the first place we actually got a language warning. So I'm pretty stoked about that rock star status at Waverly. But we've been doing what we do for about 10 years, and for the most part, I'm pretty sure that most of us uh, wouldn't change it. That's a pretty bold statement from me. I'm technically I'm speaking for a lot of people, but I think that for the most part, there's not much that would be changed. We've seen a lot, we've done a lot, we've helped a lot of people, and that's been the goal, is to make sure that people are safe and educated.
Give them a life back.
I don't want to get emotional on your podcast, dude. If you keep going, I might end up and I might be.
You know what? It's okay. I have gotten emotional on my podcast. It's all right. No judgment here. Not even from all the wonderful people watching.
Yeah, we've been doing what we do, like Steve said, for about 10 years. It was a dream of his. Mine ended up. A lot of my dream was helping people, but I did it more from a ministry standpoint, as far as when I was doing ministry, and that was part of the biggest reason why I got into doing what I do, is because I couldn't effectively do things where I was. And I couldn't warm a pew anymore. I had to get out and do.
Understand.
As far as like what Steve is the head of Spirit Mechanix as far as our teams, and he's the one who organizes everything, as far as like making sure the right people are in the right place at the right time for specific clients. Whereas more of what I do is I help with the organization on events when it comes to the scheduling part of the team, to make sure that everything else runs smooth. That way, Steve can focus on the team.
Yeah.
Another thing that I do as far as in Spirit Mechanix is I make sure that our live streams run the way they're supposed to, as far as like that, and some other projects that we have in the works here in the future. There's going to be a lot more hands-on when it comes to media and digital media and stuff like that. So that's more of what my bag is. Plus, I have I Steve does a lot of teaching, especially for trainees, whereas I do direct mentorship with a couple of them. So it's more of directed path work as opposed to here's the philosophy of Spirit Mechanics. I'm going more of here's your philosophy.
Yeah.
You figure it out. Ask me questions.
And that's not a bad way to do it. That's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
That keeps the students thinking.
Mm-hmm.
We lost Mr. Redmond.
That's fine.
Yeah,
It happens.
That's right.
I'm over here drinking. I'm over here drinking Viking's blood.
Ooh, that sounds tasty.
It's hibiscus and some other stuff mead.
That does sound good.
It is sweet. God, it's sweet.
I haven't had any meat in a bit. So pretty much everybody on the team has their own specialty, whether it be energy work or spell casting or what have you. And that's cool. That way, one person doesn't have to do it all. Steve can assign, okay, I need you to do this. I need you to do this. I need you to do this. And that's cool. And the more mechanics you get, the easier it's going to be to cover cases. If I don't know if any of y'all out there watching has ever attempted, whatever word you want to use, to schedule a paranormal case to help a family, you will pull your hair out. You see all this has gone up here? I've had to schedule a few. Just
Steve, take your hat off.
It's a thing. I got one back here too. It's extremely difficult for many, many reasons. Everybody has a job, work schedules. Some people work different shifts, different days, different hours. Some people can't get off work to travel. If you got to spend 12, 14 hours driving from Kentucky to Nebraska, you got to be able to get some time off work. Not only that, you also have to be able to schedule it with the client when it's available for them, and you need to get in as soon as you can to help them, while you're vetting them and getting all their information and everything. It's extremely difficult to schedule one case. And how many cases a year do you guys do?
Usually somewhere between on a slow year we're about 20 to 25, and on a really busy year closer to mid to upper 40s.
That's not including events. That's not including special stuff. That's not including classes, because we do teach. So there is some not just mechanic training that we provide, but we do some basics and stuff like that. We do our metaphysics basics like 101 through 103.
While we're on that subject, why don't you tell the guests about that a little bit, because I know some classes are coming up. Maybe somebody might be interested in it.
We are going to be doing probably, we haven't set a date for a schedule yet, but we are doing the basics. So the 101 through 103. So how to connect. We're doing energy manipulation, how your gifts work. And because everybody is going to sense things differently, everybody's going to experience things differently. And we try to help through the 101 through 103 to be able for you to be able to work your way. And that's the big goal with what we do when we're teaching the basics.
Yeah, because you need to figure out what you can do before you can do it. And those classes help with that.
You can sit here, and I've said this on live streams the last couple of weeks on ours, on the Spirit Mechanix Facebook.com/Spirit Mechanics. We do it live every week. I've been saying for the last couple of weeks, I can sit here and explain to you exactly the process, but until you actually physically, mentally, and spiritually experience it, it means nothing to you. So we provide the platform to be able to experience what we're talking about.
And I am going to put this right here. So if any of you haven't gone and liked the Spirit Mechanics page, it's in the comments. I didn't mean to do that. It tickled.
Easy. You don't want to pet the lip a little.
As far as dates, we were going to be doing it in January, but we ran out of time. So tentatively, the last weekend of February is going to be the 100 series classes. And we'll be doing tentatively the third weekend in March. So it'll be in between two events in March, the monthly gig and then our Cincinnati Eastgate Sacred Journey Market. So it'll be in between those two events.
Yep.
We just now, literally just now got that shit scheduled. So, and that's tentative. The reason why it's tentative is we need to make sure that we're not overlapping with someone else's event or class. But so far, so good on that front. And
Nice.
as soon as we hammer it out, which should be in the next couple days, we're going to have the links up for registration. So you can go to spiritmechanix.com and look up 100 series classes or special classes, different things, keywords. You can look those up or fish around in our shop because that's where they are. And these will be $50 a piece. So
that is actually very inexpensive for the amount of information you give out and the time and effort that you put into these classes. I have taken them personally. I can testify to this. So if any of you out there are interested, I would highly recommend it. Like I said, I have taken them. I will more than likely take them again because I've probably forgotten more than I learned. It's a thing. Repetition helps me.
Same.
Helps a lot of people. And the $50 may be subject to change. The big deal right now is we're getting back into the swing of doing classes, number one. Number two, there's been a lot of people that have been really interested in our 100 series. So we're wanting to make it approachable, but probably sometime this year that will change. The biggest reason why is we need to keep the lights on.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Lisa Campbell, to answer your question, in person or online, both. We do a platform through Discord. So we do have a Discord that I'm usually in 24/7. But that's a place where we go to hang out and chat with everybody. And I have a locked room in there that can facilitate the online experience as far as like the classes and stuff like that.
Yeah, I took them online since I'm in Nebraska and they're in Kentucky.
Yeah, he drove all the way here. And
if I could have, I would have in a heartbeat. Just saying. So Lisa, if you are interested in those classes, get a hold of me. You know how to do that. I can kind of give you a little bit more information and we can go from there.
Absolutely.
Kind of giving a quick heads up. These are sequential. So if you don't take the 101, you're not going to get the 102. You're not going to get the 103.
And 103.
Yeah.
Then the 201, the 202, and the 203.
And if you don't take the 100 series, you're not going to understand where we're at or what we're talking about when we're talking about stuff in the 200 because we're going.
Right.
Keith hasn't taken this one. This is the one that Keith hasn't taken. We go in depth on resonance, reverberation, dissonance, and we go very much in depth in those particular topics. So explaining why they do what they do. Go for it. My bad.
No, you're fine. There's a little bit of delay. I try to watch for it, but once in a while I do miss it, so I apologize.
Oh, it's my fault.
If I can, I'm going to take it. It's just been a little interesting getting the life back in order for a while.
I mean, fair.
Absolutely.
I mean, shit, dude. We were there 3 months earlier.
Yeah, you were.
We were.
You if I could get up and give you a tour, I would. Actually, I might be able to invite myself into this on my other Facebook profile and walk around the house with you. Would you like to see the house?
Well, sure, dude. It's your show,
It's your show. You do what you want.
right? We're along for the ride.
Careful telling me that. Just saying.
I'm not. I'm not careful. I didn't say it was safe. I just said it would work.
I know.
Do it, but don't do it, Keith.
Do it, but don't do it.
It's yours, but it's not.
Take it, but don't take it.
Yeah. You can grab it, but let it go.
Okay, I need to breathe here. Let's see if I can find myself. That did not come out right. That did not come out right whatsoever.
See previous statement. You can grab it, but let it go.
Okay, if you're going to paste a link, you got to copy the damn thing first, right?
Well,
hey, Mandy, what's up? Words
I'm
is
going-
hard.
I'm going off of y'all's cues because I can't see anything. I'm on my phone.
Oh,
So, for those that don't know, I'm 100% visually impaired. So, I've got just enough sight to know that I can't see. So, that's why I'm kind of looking everywhere but at the camera, I'm sure.
understand, man. No problem.
As Renee,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, Renee just said, just remember to hold on loosely.
But don't let go.
But don't let go.
Oh, also, just as a side, while Keith's getting that ready, we at Spirit Mechanix take what we do extremely seriously, especially when we're in the moment of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
We take every client very seriously, every event, every house. But we don't take ourselves seriously at all.
No.
The whole point is, one, we wouldn't be authentic if we got on here and had starched collar shirts and acted like pompous dicks. The other thing is that when you're with us, it shouldn't be a very tense situation. You're with friends, you're with family. You should feel safe around us instead of having to walk on eggshells or on pins and needles. So we act like idiots because we are idiots, and we want you to act like an idiot too, so you know that it's safe to act like an idiot.
I'm professional.
Same. I can't even say it with a straight face.
Tip of the hat.
Howdy. Howdy, ma'am.
Howdy.
Gonna have an echo for just a minute here.
Ooh.
Yeah, hang on.
Damn.
I gotta get this away from the computer. Sorry about that.
I don't see you.
Took my camera off. Why did it take my camera off?
I don't know.
Damn it, Renee.
Now you got the song stuck in your head?
Sure do. I'm going to have to get off here and go play it. Oh.
Ow.
Me too, man.
Yeah. Mm.
It ain't gonna work. It won't let me access my microphone or my camera.
Thank God. I mean, what?
Right, smart ass. That was good though.
My ears hurt. Damn. I'm wearing headphones.
Oh, man, I completely forgot about that. I apologize. My bad. I'll see myself out.
Get the hell out, Keith.
I know, right? Oh man, dude, Steven, I am so sorry. I am
Hey,
so sorry. He's listening to hearing aids. I am so sorry.
So do me a favor. Grab that F-bomb for me. Get the F out.
All right, I'll get the F out. Raymond, I'm just glad he had pants on. Always, man, always.
I should be able to stay awake. You have one job, Keith. You had one job.
I know.
Melody Koenig.
Koenig.
You should be able to stay awake this time? Okay, good. I think I put her to sleep last night.
Sorry, y'all. We are from Kentucky, so if we butcher your name, please let us know how to not do so.
We can sew it back together.
I have an education. It's not a good one, so I try to sound out the word like I was taught in 3rd grade.
I do that too. I do.
He does. Raymond does seem kind of severely interested whether or not Keith has his pants on.
Should I be worried?
I wouldn't be.
All right. All right. I thought about trying that on my other profile, but I'm not going to put us through that screaming again.
Thank you.
Anyway, it's been a long journey. A lot of you know, some may not. After Spirit Mechanix came here, 5 years ago?
About that. Yeah, it was 2000. No, it was a little more than that. It was 2018. Yeah, it was 2018.
Huh. I'll be damned. 6 years. All right. Happy birthday to me. They came in after a vetting process. Any good paranormal team is going to vet their clients because you could be walking into a situation that you don't want to be in. Drug use, prescription medication, mold issues. They can make you hallucinate.
We've had doozies.
Psychotic people. There's all kinds of people out there, and we got to make sure that the people that we want to help aren't going to take us out. It's the thing. I had one really interesting case, and I just had to say, no, sorry, I can't help you. Block. We do our best not to do that, but phone calls, video chats, getting information, verifying, what's happening is happening, that we're serious about everything, and finally got here after one hell of a trip. If anything could keep them from getting here, it did happen to them. That may have been partially my entity's fault. If it was, I apologize.
That has nothing to do with you.
Nothing
And
to do with you whatsoever.
Steve knocked on the door. I knew they were in town before they got here, and I knew when they pulled in the driveway, and
they always do.
My hand was on the doorknob as he was knocking on it, and I stood there for a minute and fought with myself on whether or not I wanted to open the door or put my fist through it. I opened the door and welcomed him in. I'm glad I did that.
Steve's like, so is he.
I'm not kidding. As soon as I put the hand on that doorknob, and Steve, I've told you this before,
mm-hmm.
I wanted to knock your head off of your shoulders 30 feet into the middle of the street.
I mean, plenty of
Just like
people
that.
don't do that without an entity. So good on you for holding that back.
There have been days, man.
Oh yeah,
Took it down and got the job done.
Same. I think that's the reason why my body runs into door facing.
Yeah.
Do not inhale when swallowing. Funny joke here.
You put it in your mouth, Keith, but don't swallow.
Welcome to the Spirit Mechanix chats.
Hi.
Thank you, Jim. I appreciate that.
Oh
Jim Morris runs the Dead Files discussion group page.
Oh,
I did.
Hello.
I did a live feed the other night, showing my episode and talking about it while going through it. So that was interesting. I've never done that before, and I appreciate the offer to do that. But they came in, kind of told us, well, me, a little bit about how the process was going to go. They allowed my paranormal team, Cobra Paranormal, some of the members to be here to witness and learn. And then they did the thing. They cleared the land outside, they cleared the home, and then it was my turn.
You got to do you, man.
I almost didn't go through with it, but I had a very special friend here helping me, kind of telepathically, and gave me the strength to get the job done. And then aftercare afterwards, they were very patient with me. I appreciate that. I was still learning.
There were days, man.
Oh, I know. Hell, I drove myself nuts.
All joke aside, it was not a problem.
I appreciate it. Hey, Lisa, how you doing? We got 3 members of Cobra in here now. We got, you like any addiction, you smoke, your body gets addicted to the nicotine. You do cocaine, you're going to get addicted to the cocaine.
Cocaine.
You have an attachment, a possession, what have you, negative paranormal activity around you long enough, guess what? You get addicted to those energies, just like you can get addicted to a negative relationship. The energies from that. It's a thing. You don't move on to a healthy relationship. A healthy relationship scares the hell out of you, so you run back to the normal. I was used to having something constantly talking to me in here and in here and in here, manipulating my words, manipulating what I heard, manipulating everything around me. 24/7 since I was 6. And all of a sudden, it was gone. And it was quiet.
Cold turkey, man. Instantaneous cold turkey.
Yup.
I was scared.
Red clover.
I was scared shitless because I was the only one here. It was quiet. I kept expecting the shoe to drop, per se, for that drawer of tools getting thrown in the garage that was never there, but yet you heard it getting shoved down the stairs, dragged down the stairs. I kept waiting for it. And that's one of the things that Steve, Brian helped get me through is you don't want to do that because you're going to invite something else back in. We have to change thought process. So they helped me do that. They call it aftercare. It's just, that's what it is. They educate the client, teach them how to not invite something back in, how to get used to dealing with nothing being around you, and teach you how to keep your home and yourself clean, how to smudge, how to, what stones and crystals to put around your home for protection, what you may need to wear personally, keep in your pockets, whatever to use to help you not invite something back in, because you can't hear that asshole anymore.
You just hear that asshole.
And
No.
it can take a while. It can take a while. And now I hear things in here. I talk to things in here, but now it's good things. Like Plank over here and George in the basement, and my guides and my guardians and whatnot, and my dragon and my wolf and the fox. And Fox is AWOL. He's off whoring around somewhere. I'm gonna have to go find him.
Do you really want to find him if he's whoring somewhere?
Well, probably not. He's getting pretty decent size.
Might want to let him finish his stroke, dude.
I think so. Find him, but don't find him.
Find him, but don't find him.
Okay, he's over there. Cool. Leave him alone.
Right.
To a point, Angela Elson says, when you learn your core, your baseline, you can tell the instant something tries to interfere that is definitely not you. To a point, it's almost like when you think about when it comes to these types of entities, it's that slight, small nudge. That'll be all right. And it sounds just like you too. That'll be all right.
Yeah.
That's not going to hurt. This isn't
You
going
don't
to be
have-
bad.
You don't have to be alone.
Mm-mm.
I don't.
Subtlety is key.
No. Okay. Well, shit. I just made a deal.
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah.
That is all it took when I was 6.
And I agree with you, Angela, too. For frequencies of certain stones and crystals, make it hard for some things to stick around. Yeah, and that's why we recommend certain things.
Yep. That's why I got rockets in my pockets.
Damn, Keith.
If you light them, do they explode?
It's been a while. I'm not sure anymore.
Well, dude, you ever lit a firework with your hand?
Yes.
No, I have not, but I was holding a match and it lit.
Well, think the same thing, only with a pal.
I got you.
They regardless of which way you go about it, they still going to be a mess to clean up. But I say go out with a bang.
There we go. Hell yeah. Sliding sideways.
Except I was smart about it when I did. I lit like this. And go to throw firecracker.
There we go.
See, I was just making a dick joke, but all right.
I know what you...
Hey. I'm trying to keep it PG-13, man. It's not even my podcast.
It is
17,
PG-13.
NC-17. Melanie, I can see where that could be just as frightening as it. Yeah, it is. It was. It was a total and complete change. And Scorpios don't like change, right, Steve?
Fucking Scorpios. Sorry, but it had to come out. That one did. That one had to come out.
Yeah. And Mandy says, y'all are not PG-13. No.
We certainly aren't.
We aren't PG-13.
We are not.
We come with a warning label.
We're actually being
I'm being serious.
Hey, Sherry,
as a damn heart attack.
We like to smile. We like to laugh. We like to have fun. Many of us have very sick, twisted sense of humors in a dark sense, and we all get along very well.
All of us here. I'm just talking about me.
Right. He's an interesting group of people.
Lisa says it was bound to come out sometime during this, Steve.
I mean, exactly.
Raymond, there's one F-bomb allowed for the rating.
We're saving it. We're saving it. We're saving it for the appropriate topic.
I used to have a black one till it burned up, and then now I got a purple one. I like my purple one.
So,
Lisa, you have seen my sick and twisted sense of humor. Just saying. Just saying.
Still mine.
By the way, I'm live on a video. Just saying. Little inside joke. Raymond.
Steve used the F-bomb.
Steve just used it.
He used the F-bomb. Darn.
Let me see your face is getting red. Why? I can feel it. Am I wrong? But anyway, shortly after, well, not shortly, after they came and helped me learn, and he saw my team and their abilities, and he asked, if we wanted to be, like a Nebraska chapter for them. And I didn't even think like I normally do. I just said yes. It actually quite shocked me that I said that word, because usually I have to sit back and think it over, mull it over, and I talk myself out of things. I just said yes. Hi, Freya. What you doing? You would come over and say hi? She's not going to come over and say hi. But anyway, so I spent 2 years training under them, and I am now a spirit mechanic. So I've got to help on, I think, 2 dead files cases now.
Yeah.
2
dead file cases.
And we were able to give those people their lives back. And that's what we do. They helped me. I wanted to help other people, and they helped me do that.
He's also been part of when he's in. He's been a part of the Scarefest discussions that we've held, and
yes,
the panels that we've had there. And he was actually, Brian, and I were the guest speakers at New Jersey Perry Unity as well. So it.
You said the N word.
New Jersey.
I did.
You said it too. That is a place that I'm probably never going back to. Is that state?
Fair.
I didn't mind it.
The traffic, the people, the one person. It just, I'm shutting up there.
I never had an issue with it whatsoever. As far as me being there, I didn't drive.
Same, Renee. Renee is a spirit mechanic trainee, also member of Cobra Paranormal,
and she is one of my students, along with earlier Patricia. She's another one of mine.
Yes. We have a little soul tribe going on here, is what we got. It's like Beetlejuice, don't say it a third time. What, the F-bomb?
New Jersey.
Oh. I think I locked the door. But then I had a short relationship, was second guessing it for a little bit, and then we had a house fire.
Oh, you're right. I forgot about that. Anyway.
All right. I'll be nice.
We have some people there that we like.
True.
You did make Jersey a little better, Renee. I got to admit that. Actually, a lot, but so during that, these guys gave me a lot of emotional support. And one thing I noticed, and I don't know if I talked to you guys about this or not, but when I knocked a hole in that wall right over there with a hammer. And I stuck my pry bar in it. And I went to yank that plaster and lath off the wall. The energy that came out of that wall literally knocked me off my feet onto my ass. I was not expecting that. I've done that before with my dad when I was a kid. Nothing happened. What's the difference? I learned. I learned to feel the energies. I learned how they work. I forgot. So every time I came over to work, I had to be cautious and cleanse. And there were some things embedded in the walls that shouldn't have been there. Steve mentioned a malice vine, and lo and behold, what did I find that was growing one time in my wall? A vine. It had come in through a crack, and it was spreading throughout the house. It is now gone. It went in my fire pit. So it's very important to keep your homes cleansed. You have a bad day at work, you come home and vent to your spouse, or even if you live by yourself, you come home and the words come out. You word vomit. You rip your boss's ass at home because you couldn't do it at work because you get fired. Okay? Get a little sage out. Get that energy out of there. And if you got paranormal things going on, ask somebody, what should I do for this? Because if you've got a decent sized entity in your home and you blow sage at it in its face, it's going to get pissed off. It's like blowing smoke in a non-smoker's face. But it's good and clean now. I have protections all over the place. I'm not going to say where, naturally, or what, naturally, but it's a pretty safe house now. It's going to be safe for the next family that moves in. That was my goal. Not for me, but for the next family that moves in. And it's going to be a family. It's going to be 2 parents and 2 kids. I've already seen them. Not sure when. That depends on me. But it has been a hell of a journey, and these guys have been right by my side the entire time. I'm thankful, I'm grateful, and I'm glad to know them. Thank you. I just needed to get that out.
Well, it's what else were we going to do? We're not going to leave anybody hanging, especially in those kinds of situations. Little known fact, some people know, a lot of people don't, but most of Spirit Mechanics have had paranormal instances in their lives that, 1, most people can't explain, and 2, even though they could explain it, they denied it. So most of us didn't have the help that we give. That's a lot of the mechanic's reason for being a mechanic, is to be that support system that we didn't have.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of us dealt with family who were body jumped or possessed, or have had spiritual contact of a negative nature with ourselves, not with other people. And not to mention, a lot of us are from Kentucky. So we are in the buckle of the Bible Belt.
Yes.
And when you go to your spiritual leaders, both Brian and I were in the church. Both of us did ministry in similar ways, 2 different denominations. But we both had a similar situation. It just ended differently, where we wound up going to our spiritual leaders and asking for some form of guidance, and them not know, and then tell us, at least in my case, I was told that I needed to forget about it because it's of the devil. And, after a while, things just didn't add up. It got to the point to where, at least in my case, it got to the point to where I felt stifled and wasn't being fed. So I was literally downstairs. We had it was a men's Bible study before church, kind of like an adult Sunday school, and the pastor literally looks at me and he goes, "So, Steve, I want you to tell the rest of these guys exactly the reason why um, your age group does not want to come to church."
Okay.
Sure, here we go. And proceeded to do so. And not a single jaw was kept up. Pastor goes, "Well, I got a sermon to get ready for." Goes upstairs with a grin on his face. And I'm sitting there in the pew later and I'm listening to him, and all of a sudden everything goes silent. Everything just eases back. And I feel a hand on my shoulder. "You're not meant for a pew. Go and show others I exist through action, not through words."
There you go.
Sure enough, here we go. And I haven't been back. And it's an interesting thing. Actually, Brian and I were talking about this not too long ago. I've done more ministry outside of the church than I ever did in it.
I believe it. I do believe it.
It's like with mine. Mine was a similar situation where, except my gifts really spiked in the middle of service. So I'm calling out stuff that I should not know about people that I'd never have met, and am just going because I went to a different type of church. I was in a Pentecostal church, so the infilling of spirit is a little bit more accepted. However, the types of things that I was talking about were very much not talked about. And then I go to my pastor and I'm like, I'm having these things go on. I know stuff before it happens. I know this thing, I know that thing. And he goes, I have no idea what I can do to help you. And I go, okay. Mine wasn't a tell us why these people aren't showing up. Mine was I'm looking for answers because I don't know. And I've got to find answers to this particular question, and I'm not getting them. So when I decided to go the path that I went with an open mind, so rooted in where I was. But I've studied a lot of different spiritualities as far as faith paths and things of that nature. And I go, a lot of this stuff makes sense. Okay, but this sounds like that because the ADHD brain starting to noticing the pattern.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is the same thing as this. This is the same thing as that. That saying is the same as this saying. Okay, I get you now. And then 10 years later, here we are. And then, like Steve was saying, I've probably done 100 times more ministry in the past 10 years than I would have sitting in a pew.
I mean, it's a thing, and I would I wouldn't trade it for the world. Coming to those conclusions myself, because you do the same thing if you're leaving not necessarily a faith base, but you're leaving a religious establishment, a denomination. When you not necessarily walk away, but you separate yourself,
Mm-hmm.
you're trying to find something else at that particular point in time to fill that gap. And
Yeah.
As you progress through, like Brian said, it all literally falls in together. It's literally all the same story. It's literally all the same philosophy. It's literally all the same key events. It's just told through a different perspective. And that's the reason why I went from being a Methodist minister to being an omnist. Um, you
Yeah.
know, God by any other name is still God,
Yeah.
and the rest of it's all semantics.
I stopped going to church when I was 6. Imagine that. Mom would give me offering money. I'd go down to the liquor store that was a block away. I'd buy candy bars. I'd go to the park, go home. Yeah, Mom, I went to church. As I was growing up, I really didn't believe in, quote, God, because I couldn't comprehend. Anytime I would try to think about it, my mind got scrambled.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was that thing or what. But after it was gone, I sat here one day with Kim, my roommate at the time. She used to also be on the team. And I actually sat down and meditated with the purpose of finding an answer to a question.
Mm-hmm.
And that question is, where did I come from?
Mm-hmm.
That can be a very vague or very specific question. I was given an answer. I saw spirit. Not God, not Buddha. I saw spirit. And it was the most beautiful light right in the middle of the universe. To me, that's spirit.
Yeah.
But also saw that light showed me like a developing fetus with the biggest brain, head, with tendrils going out into the entire universe.
Collective consciousness.
Yes. So that's where I am. I'm not religious. I'm spiritual. I have talked to Thor. I've talked to Jesus. I've talked to Freya. I talk to Freya every day, but
She is cute.
I had to learn. I wanted the answers, and that's why I started Cobra Paranormal. And I started having my home in Beatrice investigated, and then I eventually joined their team, and then I eventually formed my own team. It's because I wanted answers. I wanted to know why what was happening to me was happening to me.
Hi, Tiffy.
And nobody could ever tell me. Hi, Tiff. They could get evidence, but they couldn't find the reason. And that's why I started looking towards the paranormal shows on the TV. At that time, I really didn't even know there were any on there. I was flipping through channels one night when I didn't have something to work on in the garage, and Ghost Hunters popped on. So I started looking for different paranormal shows. Thought maybe one of them could give me some help, but something about each one of them wasn't right. And then all of a sudden, I discovered the Dead Files.
Mm-hmm.
I want her. So I fought for 4 years to get in there. And I did it. And then she picks up the phone during the filming of the review, puts it under the table. How fast can you get to Nebraska? How fast do you need us? Now.
All right. It was funny too, because it was pretty late, all things considering, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, "Are you okay?" I'm literally asking Amy. I'm like, "Are you okay?" And she goes, "Oh, I'm fine. But the situation isn't great." No, okay, I need context. Don't have time. Literally texting you under the table while looking at the client.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So, I'll talk to you later, but how soon can you get here? How soon do you want us there? Soon as possible. Cool. Next weekend.
Yeah, we were sitting right in that living room at the table that's up on my back porch. And she came down the stairs. They're just around that corner. When I looked up at her, the look of horror on her face when she saw me, I knew. I figured it out. She figured it out. I figured it out. Until that point, they were adamant that I had to move. And I was adamant that I wasn't gonna. Because whatever it was, I knew it would happen again if it wasn't taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to fight and get rid of it, not run from it. And if I would have run from it, I would have ran with it. And she figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
That look.
One of the things that I find interesting is a lot of people who go to, I say church, but organized religion of some sort, miss a key feature that is very, very important. And it's actually why you go. Just kind of backtracking a hair. Um, when you found that spirit, when you
Yeah.
found it, when you finally found it, and it's right there, and you can't deny it.
No.
It's that same process as we're talking about when we're talking about our classes. I can explain it to you in depth with great detail, but
Yeah.
until you have the experience yourself, you have no idea what I'm talking about.
Exactly. And I can give another example of that.
Hmm.
It wasn't too long after that. I kept working on myself. I kept trying to grow, and I started looking at myself, picking my life apart, learning about me.
Hmm.
Um, like I tell people, I'm slowly becoming the person that I was meant to be instead of the person that I became, because I did not like that asshole.
You're becoming something new. That's
Exactly. I'm still
that's
figuring out who I am. I am
that's
still figuring out who I am
exactly. That's
and
the
what I want
difference
to teach my children.
between you're not becoming the person you should have been, becoming the person that you need to be now.
Yeah. Yeah. That. And so shortly after I saw that and I started that healing journey,
Hmm.
I'm at work and I go on the out of town deliveries, and uh, there was this detour. I was going to take the highway to Odell. You can just come straight down 77, then 112, and then take a little jog on 8, and there's Odell. I decided to take the blacktop, the back way. And there's a detour. They're working on the road. So I had to go right a mile on the gravel and then south a mile on the gravel. And I got halfway there. And I had this overwhelming feeling.
Hmm.
It was so overwhelming, I had to pull over. And tears just started flowing.
Hmm.
Something touched my shoulder.
Yeah.
And I cannot describe the feeling of joy. It was almost like a attaboy, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Um, I sat there for probably 15 minutes and bawled my eyes out, like I'm almost doing right now. And that was the most intense feeling I've ever felt in my life, and
Hmm.
probably ever will, unless Spirit decides to touch me again. And hopefully it's another attaboy and not a. Because I've probably had a few of those too. Um, but
That's the
it,
thing that I've noticed with
experience.
this whole process, as far as like trying to find yourself spiritually, is when you get to that point. I can't really speak for Steve, but I can for myself. There is this longing to get back there to that spot where it's not an attaboy, it's just presence of
Yes.
and sensing the presence of it. It is transformative. It is very transformative. There's that literal piece of where, okay, I understand now. I get it.
Yes.
And like one of my old emails was called Fire Chaser. And everybody thought it was because I was trying to be a volunteer firefighter, and it's like, no, that has nothing whatsoever to do with it. It's a chasing after that. I'm looking for them. I am following after them. I am chasing after them, and
Yes.
that is what I try to do when I'm doing things in spirit mechanics is show people how to get there,
Yes.
because I know once they get there, their life is never going to be the same. It's going to be, oh, I understand and I get it.
Yeah, and you guys helped me get there. You really did. Renee, I get a homesick feeling for a home that I've never been. I understand that, but if you think about it, you have been.
How can you be homesick for a home you've never been when you haven't been there?
What number reincarnation is this for you, Renee? Because I lost track.
I don't keep track anymore.
I'm an old bitch, and that's it.
Ain't that right, Steve? I'm an old son bitch.
As I'm wearing the hat suit. But no, with me it's a little bit different. I adopted something that my papa said and lived by. When the spirit moves, you move with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm asked a lot, if I'm a man of God, you have that presence about you. Like, no, I'm not a man of God. I'm a man with God.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't walk in front of me or behind me. He walks with me.
Yes.
And we talk just as you and I are.
Mm-hmm.
There's no difference to me. I see the face of God in everybody I talk to. And it's one of those things of I don't long to be there because I'm always there. I just long to share it.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
It's that whole, witness through action, not through words.
Mm-hmm.
If you do it right, no one's got to ask. That's something else that Merle always said. If you do it right, no one's got to ask, and you don't have to explain.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
For me, it's a little bit more like romance. I'm courting, if that makes sense to anybody else. I'm courting. It's like being married or being in a relationship with somebody. If you stop courting, the relationships.
I get it. You got to have communication. In order to court, you have to have what?
Communication.
And
so
if courting is going to be successful, you have to have the correct type of communication.
Exactly.
Like that. Renee says she's just old.
Pudding.
Bless it.
Bless it.
Bless it, but don't mess it.
Sometimes you gotta. Sometimes you gotta mess it.
Yeah, that's a Scorpio sneaking out. For anybody wondering.
You got to mess it, just not in the hair.
There you go.
It's not my hair. As the balloons go around, Steve.
You let her go?
He let it go, man. Just not in her hair.
But notice they did not get in his hair. That is good. Does anybody have any questions for these two gentlemen? These three gentlemen?
These people.
Yeah, us.
Them.
These guys.
Thesens.
Themins.
Raymond.
Zigzag.
Zigzag, it likes a toaster strudel.
You want some of the rocks? Strudel.
The Rock likes pie.
Jeez.
Mm.
And I know there were some comments that I probably should have thrown up during the conversation, but I was in depth in the conversation. I missed them. I apologize for that. Yeah, what you got? What you got, Angela?
Dues it.
Ride her up, punch her up, key her up.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Ride her up, punch her up, get her up. Let's go.
Raymond, my favorite kind of pie is cherry.
Cool
The
drinking
fruit.
water, such a sweet.
My favorite kind of pie is key lime.
There you go. Angela, how much work is done in the dream state or astral? I find is a lot.
That depends on the person and what's going on.
Yes.
Most of the time, if you're astral projecting, you're being called by someone or something to do some form of work. But if it is a dream specifically, a lot is interpreted through dreams. Dreams are the things that you don't have the ability to say, or the paths untaken from the day that you've had. And everything plays out as you sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of interesting things can happen in dreams. A lot of times, things like shadow work can come in, things, messages from people that you've known,
Yes.
loved ones, your flavor of God can come in and talk. And it just depends on the person and what's happening with you. Some people have more of a penchant for that kind of thing, but it happens to literally everybody.
I find a lot of times I'm given hints during my dreams, but I have to process those hints when I can remember those hints, because normally I'm not allowed to remember my dreams. That spirit saying, "It's this, you dumbass. I'm going to take it back, figure it out." I do a lot of astral at night. I kind of split up and I go different places at the same time and watch over people. If somebody needs help and they're calling, I go. And then right before I wake up in the morning, it's whoosh, okay, here we go. And okay, I remember. No. As soon as I open my eyes, they're gone. I tried keeping a notepad, a voice recorder right there. Don't help. It's just gone. But if I do remember one of my dreams, it is like a cat. There's a meme like one of my dreams. A cat riding a shark, jumping out of the ocean. The cat is in a suit of armor with an AR-15 and a balloon. And I'm supposed to understand what the hell that means.
Could be
eventually.
to ease off of the extracurriculars a little bit.
Leave the government alone.
That's the other side of dreaming, is your subconscious just sorting information. Hey, Michelle Barone, how's it going?
Hey, you. How you doing, girl? It's been a bit.
Hey, yo.
And I shared out your post today about your show on, I think, Friday. I'm working them, but I'm going to rewatch that. I really want to see that one. I'm just going to give a little shameless plug. Michelle Barone is a life coach, and she is a very good life coach. I have talked to her myself. She has helped me a lot. And if anybody is interested in life coaching, I would highly recommend getting a hold of her. She says, "Miss you all." We miss you too, girl.
You're
Absolutely.
Yes.
100%. I
Did we all
agree.
hear that at the same time?
Metaphysical king of the hill going on.
Yeah. I'm Boomhauer.
I agree.
Just put the hair back.
Uh,
Man.
Absolutely, Linda. You can answer a question. Or yeah, you can answer a question. You can ask a question. Words.
Ask
Words
it.
are hard.
Use the words.
Words are hard. Michelle says she's feeling the energy. Feel it, but don't feel it.
Actually,
yeah. Good job, student.
We've been on a roll. Just saying.
come on, Linda, you got it.
She's typing. I can see her.
I want to say it so bad because I know I'm not allowed.
That one word.
That one word, and it's a problem.
All right, here she is. So when her mom passed, her sister heard and recorded 2 instances when she heard a swoosh sound as her mom was being taken out of the house and just before she was put in the hearse.
Okay.
Does that happen when people pass very often?
If you're sensitive to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And each case may be a little different on what you may feel, see, or hear.
Yep. And it depends on from person to person too. Like when my grandmother passed away, I completely understood the one biblical phrase, peace that which surpasses all understanding. It was still in that room.
Yeah.
Pure, unadulterated stillness.
Still. Whoa.
I didn't hear a whoosh. I felt stillness. And that's one of those ones that never leaves you. So,
Yeah, you remember it.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
she also said,
for you, it might have been the swoosh.
yeah. She said she wasn't there, but heard the recording. It was odd. It was odd to them.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat, though.
Yeah. When my grandfather passed, I
out.
was the only one that could understand him. He died of lung cancer, and they didn't have his teeth in, and I was the only person that could understand what the hell he was saying. I remember standing by, they moved his bed into the dining room because it's close to the bathroom. And he looked at Grandma and said something. And everybody's like, what? We don't understand you. I'm like, he told her to go eat. And he smiled. I didn't understand it back then. I didn't know why I could understand it. I understand it now. And I'm grateful for it. But again, like you said, Brian, when he left this earth, he was kind of pointing and looking and talking. And then it was still. It got a little cooler in the room, and then it was just still. I remember that now. Thank you for that memory.
It was something. It was almost like, and it was one of those ones where normally they stay until after the funeral, blah 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 blah. Nah, she was out. She was out the door. But the door broke off the hinges when she left.
So was Grandpa.
She was gone. I'm like, she's like, I'm going home. I'm over it.
This 3D world, I'm out. Mr. Tyree. When his mom passed, she stayed put till everybody was out of the room, and she said her goodbye to me and then left. Nice. Renee. When Grandma passed, it was a blizzard. It stopped snowing when she winked at me and took her last breath. Then it started back up. I like that. Kimberly Ashbury Moxley. She's a parapsychologist, ordained life coach, and end of life specialist. Death doula. Okay.
Cool.
So you help them transition to the other side. Is that what that is? See, sometimes I have questions.
The almighty Google machine.
To Google. Michelle, stillness is a thing. Silence, peace. If you are being in that one moment, and an honor to witness, it is so very special. Not wrong. I like that.
It was a similar thing with Merle Papaw.
Yeah.
When he passed, I was the first one in the room, and I was the last one to leave. And I knew he was gone already. The machine was what was keeping him here.
Yeah.
Quote unquote, keeping him here. He was already gone. It was an interesting situation when he did go and everybody had left. I sat there with him, and the machines are off, and I didn't even tell Brian this, but the machines are off, and I'm there alone with him. He hasn't taken any form of breath, and I understand exactly what it is. Science will tell you exactly what this is, but it was the symbolism of it. I'm the only one there, and the chest came up, and he exhaled. It wasn't anything more than an expulsion of gases, but at the same time, it was just seeing that, and it brought to mind, Brian had a line of scripture that came to him, and mine's just a phrase: "I will come for you as a thief in the night."
Mm-hmm.
And it literally was. It was quick, snatch, gone. And it was, for all of the commotion that was going on when he did pass, it was almost like he literally moved them out of the room, because everybody dipped. As soon as he was done, everybody left.
Get them out of my way. I'm going home.
I got somebody I got to meet. You're not that important right now.
There you go. There you go. Kimberly said yes, without medical intervention. So also known as without hospice. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay.
It's amazing. I've sat here and thought about what we do. And when we go out and help people, we are not only helping the living, sometimes we are also helping the past if they've gotten stuck here. If they have a message to deliver before they go home. If they lost where the door is and just want to know where the door is. We help them with that. And so in a way, we are kind of some good looking reapers. We help spirits transition to where they need to go. That's what a reaper does. So, everybody looks at the Grim Reaper with such, in a bad way. No, he's just got a job to do. He's helping transition. Sometimes needs a hug. So if you see the Reaper, give him a hug. Give him a Snickers and a hug.
Yeah, it's one of those things of, and this always makes me giggle, and this tells me usually 9 times out of 10 that people don't know what it is that they're actually doing. the whole concept of a Reaper, it's the reason why I refer to them as collectors, because that's essentially what they do.
Yeah.
But everybody will talk about how Reapers are a dangerous thing, but then call on Archangel Azrael to do the thing. And I'm like, do you even pay attention? That is literally his function. It's what he is.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a funny thing to me. But yeah, some people are stuck. Some people are earthbound, some people are lost, and it's not just humans that need the counsel and need the particular hand on the shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
I talk about it all the time. We had a case in Ohio, our favorite fucking state. There it is. I got it out again. I'm gonna sneak 3 in. I've got 2. I'm gonna sneak 3 in. I need one more. But it's our favorite state, jokingly. Uh, but long story short, there was a entity there that was trapped on the property, who was a pastor in life, and was literally praying over the property. He would walk in front of the house on the sidewalk and full on in prayer, swinging the arm, God protect these people, protect this property, do the thing. And the problem is he was here too long and was beginning to suffer from spiritual dementia, or
Degradation.
what's referred to as progression into a vengeful entity. So
Right.
what would happen is he would literally sundown, like someone with dementia or Alzheimer's, and at night he would become violent because essentially he would lose where he's at and um, forget that he's protecting a family. They were intruders in his home and were literally lashing out at him.
I can see that.
We get there, we talk to him, connect through the pastor thing, find out that he was waiting on his wife. Well, we found out that the wife had passed before him and he had forgotten that. So he was waiting on her and she was already gone.
I had a case like that too, up in Lincoln. Guy had stayed too long, kind of similar, forgetting his humanity, and he kept wanting to know where his wife was. He thought the client was his wife, and the client had a twin. So that confused him even more. The whole time she's waiting, she's calling. We get there and I can hear it. And once we finally talked to him and convinced him, hey, just look up here. Just look. He looked up and he said, holy, and he was gone. That's all it took. Sometimes just communication with them is enough to do the trick.
Mm-hmm.
It is. Angela's got a question. Any of you ever had a near-death experience?
Every day.
I've had a few.
All jokes aside, yeah, more than a couple handfuls.
I found records the other day when I was cleaning my home, because I can never remember how long ago my car accident was. 28 years ago. I got T-boned by a full-size Dodge van going about 50 and a 35 that ran red light. And I remember now bouncing back and forth. I had my seatbelt on. It threw me out of my seatbelt. Just bouncing back and forth. And everything goes black. And the next thing I know, I'm standing outside of my vehicle, looking in at me. And all I could say was, well, now what? I wasn't sad. I'm like, now what? I didn't know what to do. I knew what was going on. I just didn't know what to do. And that's when I heard a voice say, "Not yet. You got work to do." And it was bright, and then it was dark, and then I woke up. And my Scorpio came out. And with a broken back and a broken neck, and my floating ribs crossed over each other like you cross your fingers, I kicked the door open that John's wife should have had to open. And I was on my way to kick that guy's downtown Brown, old officer here in town. She literally pulled a gun on me to get me to stop. And then they strapped me to a backboard for 3 hours in the ER. And I've got some really cool x-rays. Well, I did have some really cool x-rays of me leaning back, and they took a picture, and my head is literally dislocated off of my spine by a half inch. I should not be here. And they sent me home. They said, "You're fine. Broken back, decapitated, broken neck.
You're good."
And they sent me home. Go to work tomorrow. Next day, I woke up after the adrenaline wore off. I couldn't move. But I think that is when my gifts started to come back into play. When I blocked them when I was 6, after they came in, I'm like that. After that thing got in me, and then that happened, and then there was another one after that. I'm not quite ready to talk about yet. Yeah, I am, because it's related to that. One of the doctors I went to up in Omaha said, "Here's some pain medication." I said, "I come from an addictive family. I don't want anything addictive." "Oh, okay. Well, just take these when you need them." Okay. I didn't know nothing. They were the highest potency opioids they had at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't good. Coupled those with the Scorpio, with what was in here. I destroyed the house so bad one night that I picked up a glass like this, threw it, and it literally sliced into the doorway, into the wood. Did not break. The door, it was 25, 30 feet to the street, and I put my fist through it so hard that there were pieces of wood in the street. So, Steve, when I said that earlier, I wasn't kidding. And once I finally realized, after I ran outside to make sure my neighbors were okay because of the tornado that hit, that's when I realized I was the tornado. And I walked inside the house. I picked them up. I walked into the toilet. I opened the lid, dumped them in, flushed it, crushed the bottle because there was refills left, and I haven't taken one since. But yet I can't quit this.
I'm currently in the process. I'm a week out. I haven't had a cigarette in a week.
I'm getting ready. I just got to figure out how to do it. I want to. I made my mind up. I'm going to. Yeah, I've got some of those. They just don't agree with my stomach. So I'm looking for different avenues, and I'm just going to have to cut myself down and then just. But the last time I tried to quit cold turkey, the heart said no. Have one. So I've got to be strong and just do it.
Talking about near death experiences, I've never had one. I've had a death experience. But that's about it.
I'm going to, Michelle. It's in the plans. I'm going to.
I'll be real, and this is to anybody who ever wants to quit smoking or is trying to encourage somebody to quit smoking. Don't encourage them to quit smoking. Because the more you encourage them, the more they want to have a cigarette.
If you tell them, okay, if you need any advice or help, I'm here for you. Mm-hmm. If you need to talk, I'm here for you. State your intention. but you know you can do it. You know you can do it.
Even
While
then, for
we're
me,
second
it just
guessing
makes
out.
me. It just makes that rebellious part of my brain go, "Fuck you." I do what the fuck I want.
Yeah, my
So
last.
I had to
You
make the
need to
full
quit this.
decision
You
myself.
need to
Yeah.
quit this. Light one up.
Yep. We're yes.
Scorpios.
I'm not a Scorpio, but I have enough of the other alphabet gang forms of mental illness that makes me
Yes.
go, "Fuck you."
There's third.
There it is.
There it is.
We
I came
made it.
close a couple times.
We
We,
succeeded.
we succeeded. We hit the benchmark.
We hit the jackpot, man.
Yes. So now instead of Beetlejuice showing up, the fucking is going to show up.
Damn it!
No, I don't want that. I've been there
I
before.
really
No.
don't want that. I've been experiencing that for a half a year now.
If something shows up tomorrow, you guys are getting a phone call. Just saying.
Ignore.
You would too, just to be funny. Then you call me back.
The next day.
Just
Yeah.
to tip. Who do we know that's in Nebraska again?
I don't know this number.
Steve, your phone says Keith. Who?
I would jump out of my body and knock on your damn door. You know I would.
That's cool. Good luck.
Knock
Knock on my door.
If you hear knocks later.
You hear knocks and then a wait. Well, he won't be knocking again.
Steve likes to sneak in and push my printer button and knock on my door.
I do, actually. It's a pastime.
Freya's pretty good at picking you up anymore, though.
She knows me.
Yeah. She's like, Dad.
It's that weird guy again.
Hey, at least I haven't swung your door open recently.
True.
I used to flat out just walk up in his house.
Yep. I'm here.
Push
Hey,
the
what's
sprint
up?
button and leave.
The first time, I'll admit, it scared the hell out of me because I was used to that not happening. And I think that's probably why you did it.
That's exactly why I did it.
Here's a test. Like, trigger. Put me right back into fight or flight mode. I'm like, wait, nothing's here anymore. I didn't do that. Figure it out. Sat and felt and figured it out.
I don't know. About 10, 15 minutes later, I get this message. Were you just at my house? I don't know. Why? Well, these things happen. Fuck.
And I felt
there it is. Made it past the benchmark.
Yep. I take it you do that with someone else too? Michelle says he's so good at that.
I have a tendency to pop in. I check on people.
Same. I try to do it without people noticing me so much, just so I don't scare the hell out of them, but sometimes they see me.
Oh, I make sure they know I'm there. It's one of those, all right, get pants on. You have company.
Yeah, Renee, yes, all of you like to come visit. Let me go for a ride in the truck.
All right, guys. I think I've got to get off of here. I smell food and I'm hungry.
Ooh, do it. That's something I got to do yet too, so. Michelle, we know it's you, Keith. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this evening. I had fun. I had a blast. I needed the giggles. I don't know about anybody else, but I needed the giggles. Hopefully, we helped and you learned and we learned. And that's why we do what we do. to help people and teach people. And I appreciate everybody that both comes on the show and watches the show. So thank you, you two, for being a guest tonight. And thank you, everybody, for watching. So on that note, I am going to hit the vids, and we'll see you later.
Later, y'all. Love you.